Hello everyone, my name is Pixie People, and today we're going to talk about what if Deku had alchemy, part 3. And I would say this series isn't, the best I've created because I think my best one was the fire one because I actually went into depth with characters, but I like it nonetheless. Alright, let's continue where we left off. So Deku looks towards Bakugo after killing the Nomu and tells him, sorry, but it's the only way I could bring you back. Which Bakugo clearly says, I don't care if I'm alive now. I'd rather be dead than this machine that you've turned me into. Yeah, so Bakugo's clearly mad. It's gonna be a while till he gets over it. Oh, that's what Deku thinks, but no. Bakugo just sighs afterwards, which surprises Deku, of course. And Bakugo's like, at least I'm not dead, but still, I'll hold a grudge to you for this entire life. For my entire hero career and life. So Deku and him, you know, handshake with Deku's still healed arm. With his left arm, I think? I think he has his left arm now. Yeah, his left arm. Just gives him a good handshake. With Baku's right hand. Right hand. Yeah, right hand. And then we speed up the... We, we just passed the few weeks they were off. Can we talk about how freaking slow this mission is? And then Deku, he gets up from his bed again. His couch, actually, because he was watching television before he went to sleep. So he just sat there, waiting for the time to fly by. Eventually, he just fell asleep and then woke up again. And then he got his stuff together, and then he looked towards the gem on in his drawer, his red gemmed necklace that came out of his skull. And Deku picks it up and puts it on, which then the gem starts glowing, which then powers Deku up. And Deku walks to school with his one arm. Until, until he gets there and he just sits down in class with everyone expressing sadness for him losing an arm in the attack. Not realizing that Bakugo lost his whole body in the attack. So now Bakugo's a full robot. He's a cyborg now. He'd probably look cool in the design if I knew how to draw. And Deku then expresses that it's no biggie. He just wished he could have saved Bakugo before that happened. Bakugo expresses, me too, Izuku. And then they continue class. Aizawa walks in telling them that, I hope y'all train for uh, the, the sports festival that's happening tomorrow. So, let's get to class now. Also, Deku, meet me after class. Because we need to talk about your, what happened during the USJ. So Deku goes through the day, talking to Bakugo, eating his lunch, then continues to talk to Bakugo during lunch. He just talks to Bakugo for a long time, expressing how he wishes he could have done anything else except make him turn into a cyborg. Bakugo is profusely saying he wishes he could have been stronger to be able to defend himself and not just get murdered. And that does something to a person. You get pummeled, die, and then you come back to life realizing that you don't have your original body. And it hurts Bakugo even more knowing he can't even cry or sob about it because he has no tear ducts anymore. So all he can do is just dim his lights. So Deku is Deku just starts crying. For Bakugo, saying this is all his fault. If he just saved him more, he just slams the lunch table, which then riles up Class 1B, saying, "Hey, you can't just destroy class property like the little wimps they are, because they're so teacher's pet acting." And then yeah, so Deku was frustrated at Izuku. Deku's frustrated at him, of course. Deku feels like, uh, says, "What do you know? You weren't there at the USJ. You weren't there when I lost my arm. You weren't there when I saw my best friend getting pummeled to a bloody pulp." And then they leave. Well, then Monoma steps up like, like always, the Class 1A students are always better than us. And then promptly Deku then punches the crap out of him and repeatedly punches the crap out of him. Then he coats his hand in steel and starts punching him rapidly and rapidly and rapidly and rapidly and rapidly. Bro's hitting him with the Ora Ora special, the Star Platinum smack smack smack. And then let's just say Monoma has a broken nose, a few missing teeth, and blood all over his face. Not Deku's blood, of course. Okay, let's say a bit of his blood. Like a drop. Then Deku dies. Well, then Deku gets early access to go home. Okay, Deku. You're gonna need to go to the office for assaulting a student. That's what happens. Deku goes to the office and they say, "We have no problems of you assaulting Monoma, but you need to control your anger sometimes because that could have killed him because you were too strong. But the problem at hand that we were trying to speak to you about during our assessment." So they say that we're gonna give you an arm. And everyone's like, "Hmm? Yeah, we're deciding to give you an arm." So Deku's like, "Thanks. I never knew I could get my limb back because I lost it." But then they say, "Well, not your actual limb, but you know, your Deku's like, uh, "Well, I'll see you later." They both say, "Well, we'll see you later, Deku. Well, here's some areas for this stuff that you want to improve." Then Deku's saying he will do it. That he likes the design of the arm and he wishes to have it. And then they all, then this person with a quirk and this other person with electricity abilities and another person with tech abilities then makes this arm so advanced that it's able to just attach to a person's arm, his Deku's right arm, of course. And then Deku like puts his hands out, puts his right hand out, and says, "Feels like the old thing. Thank you. Wish it was the real thing, but this will do." And Deku is very bummed that he lost his arm, but at least Baka was alive. That's all that matters. Okay, so Deku, after leaving the emergency room, to cool down, of course. He goes back to class, which it's only like 20 minutes of the class left. Deku gets his work done and then goes to home. Well, obviously showing everyone that he got a cool new arm. Yeah, Class 1B is not particularly happy that the guy, instead of getting in trouble, or at least suspended, he got a freaking new limb instead of getting in trouble for beating a man. So let's just say Deku and Class 1A aren't in Class 1B aren't on the best terms right now, especially with Monoma. But Monoma's a bit more quiet against Deku because he don't want to get his ass beat again. He almost bruised his jaw. He almost bruised it so badly he couldn't move it anymore. But luckily for Monoma, his mouth is intact. For today. At least. And then Deku, we cut back to Deku saying, in his mind saying, I wish I could have assessed this situation differently. Then Deku goes home, sleeps. Then Deku just sleeps. Not on his bed, on his couch, with his necklace on him. Which, yeah, that does. Then Deku awakens to the necklace, starting to crack, which he infuses Deku with it. But then it heals itself right back. It's like Deku was like, huh? And then Deku goes back to sleep. So then Deku gets up and then just walks to school because he already has his clothes on. Actually, no. He wakes up and then takes a shower because that's the logical thing to do in this situation. Takes a shower, then gets ready. But, he kept the necklace on during the shower, which does then activate Deku. And Deku's eyes turn red and he starts being a bit uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable, but a bit spooked because the emerald started burning him where his chest was. So he pulled the necklace off and decided he's not wearing this thing. It's gonna kill him if he keeps wearing it. And then Deku just leaves. And Deku just leaves. Deku then leaves for school without the necklace. Luckily for Deku, he locked the door behind him. So then Deku just leaves. Nah, I don't care. Shut up. Deku, oh. Deku, the heck was that noise? Probably my dog or something. Then Deku, man, I'm so glad he's done. Deku is playing his, playing a little game in his brain when he's walking to the thing. And he's playing I Spy until, too bad for his eyes, he sees Shigaraki in an alley. But really, Deku doesn't get scared because he's there. He gets more curious to see why he's just standing there. And then we get the cool little fact about Deku. Deku is not trustworthy. He actually really does not like Bak. He doesn't care that Shigaraki attacked him. It's not his fault that Bako lost his limb. It's the stupid Nomu. Take him and leaves. Easy. Deku has a nice little walk back to over to the alley to talk to Shigaraki. To ask, so you're just gonna stand there, you're gonna walk with me? Shigaraki. And then Shigaraki is stunned, not thinking Deku saw him, but of course he saw him, he's not stupid. And then just leaves. No damage done for Deku. Deku's fine. Deku goes home, I guess. I can fight the big boys knights. Deku playing his then saying to talk to Shigaraki, well, you don't hide yourself so well, so it was pretty easy for me to see you. So yeah, Deku then just heads out to with Shigaraki talking about the whole USJ attack. And then he says that he's going to the I think he would say, yeah, so I'm going to the got him. Come here. Says he's gonna go compete in the I think he would say, what do you say? He's gonna go compete in the sports festival. And Shigaraki says, well, good to hear that, you know. It means I get to fight you one day again. Without you being expelled. For, you know, killing a man. Shigaraki says, well, that Nomu you still call a man really wasn't a man because of, you know, your actions. Well, I ain't the leader of this place, it was all my master's plan. And, you know, Deku just leaves. No, then Shigaraki says, well, I'll see if I can watch, but there's no confirming that I'll be there. And Deku says, well, if you are there, cheer me on. I don't know if I'm gonna win this or not. If I do, good for me. But if I don't, I tried. And Shigaraki says, how can you be so... How can you be so calm about, you know, not having victory over your mission? Deku says, well, it's not a mission, it's just for entertainment. You know? Shigaraki says, well, I haven't really experienced people. I haven't really experienced sports festival, really, so I'll see if I can be there. Well, you probably should be getting to your classmates now. See you, Midoriya. See you later, Deku. You know my name is, you know, Izuku, right? And he says, weirdly, no, I do not. I didn't know that. Thanks for the information, Izuku. Then Shigaraki leaves, and then Deku then just makes a rock slab and then shoots himself to the rest of the way there. Deku just leaves. Oh. Well then, Deku answers class, and then they say, get these uniforms on, and then we'll meet. Yep. You can't dodge bullets. Okay, so Deku Deku is, you know, saying, alright, puts the uniform on. He does say, well, am I able to use my arm in this? And they say, well, it's unnecessary for you to have your full strength in the battle, he says. Alright, I'll use it. I didn't need to, but okay. And then he winks at Aizawa, basically saying, I don't need this aesthetic, aesthetic? Whatever a prosthetic. I can't believe I forgot the word there. I'm so dumb. Yeah, so a prosthetic to beat these people. Full strength or not, I'm still gonna beat their excuse my language, ass. Okay. So Deku after... Oh, come on. What's through the wall? Deku is then saying he could probably... It's funny how Kratos could easily lift this, and then she's just struggling. Like, Deku is, sleepy. Then he's like standing in the waiting area. He's like, I'm bored. What do you think, Shoto? What do you think, Bako? And Bako's like, you know the only reason I'm here is because of you, so I don't really know what I'm thinking about anymore. It's like, okay, emo. It's like, you really expect me not to be emo after you freaking killed me? Well, you turned me into this. This just points at his general vicinity. This is way too easy. I took a nice nap. But aren't we going to talk about how Trace has definitely got them hands? Alright, take him out. Bullets. Bullets. Ooh, Deku after... Well, not after, but during his waiting session, he just keeps talking to Bako until the doors open, and Deku immediately shoots himself up out of the area. Actually, freaking Baku's shocked because he got grabbed during the situation. He was straight up grabbed during the situation. He was yoinked by his pant leg. Because yes, he still wears clothes. He's not going to just be uncivilized. Gets grabbed by his pant leg and then just goes flying. Come on, there's a guy with a freaking Lego piece for a head in this universe. Deku is killing. He's killing this whole Deku is completely saying to Baku like, well, now what? And then Baku's like yelling at him, well, in a robotic voice, kind of. Why did you freaking throw me? Why are you grabbing me, Deku? Deku, let go of me. Like, well, I got you this far, and they're like halfway through there. They went over the requirements. Deku is, saying, well, you're welcome, jerk. And then he let go of Baku, and then Baku starts falling to the ground. Until he just explosions to recover and then starts flying towards Deku. Which Deku is easily just bouncing through without any difficulty. Because he's Deku and he's not just gonna be a little wimp. So Deku just easily goes through the game, but like Superman. I can be your Superman, your Superman. And he just gets in first place easily. With Baku in second and Shoto in third. And then Deku gets the giant bounty on his head. It's like, ooh. That's a pretty bad situation in there. What am I doing? What do you think I'm gonna do, lady? Get out of the thing. I'm gonna just rapidly shoot. What am I doing? Oh. Deku after, after getting first place and realizes point value, he then just scrolls up on Baku like, hey, yo, can I call in a favor? He's like, you really don't need to call in favors after saving my life, you know? You ask me for anything, I'm there. He's like, so you know what I'm asking? He's like, yeah, I know what you're asking. Get on my shoulders, Deku. And then, Deku gets on top of the shoulders. And then, since the rest of them see that two of the strongest guys in the entire arena start teaming up, they're like, yeah, good idea to be on their team, probably. Well, they say probably because they don't know that Shoto Todoroki is pretty strong. Because remember, he didn't get his time to shine in the USJ arc. Because all he did was sit there. Oh. Deku's after... Well, Deku playing his big brain. I'm kidding. Oh, hello. Deku's kidding. I'm kidding. Deku is, saying, well, Mako, any thoughts on who we should choose? And he says, weird hair would be pretty good for the job. Who? Red-haired kid. He's like, oh, okay. He seems pretty good for the job, though. Okay, we'll take him. And they say, like, hey, Kirishima, right? And he says, yeah. And he said, do you want to be a part of our team? He's like, yeah, okay, I'll be a part of your team. He thought about it for a very long time. Because he didn't know if they would actually want him on his team. And, then Kirishima's added the squad to the trio now, but the squad soon enough. How many people could be on? Yeah, 4. So Deku, after, getting Kirishima on his team, says, who else should we get? We probably should get a person that can probably reach really far, right? Because I can't reach with anything because, all he has are these concrete slabs and electricity. That's really all I can use. So they both say, how about Suyu? She's pretty good for the job because she has that tongue of hers. And he's like, good idea. So he then... Deku then instantly says, well, that seems easy choice. Oh gosh. Oh, she. Arrows. Deku, after saying he will... Got him. Deku, after... Yeah, Deku, after saying... Yeah, that'd work. And then he walks towards Suyu Asui, saying... Suyu, right? And he says, you can just call me Sue. And he's like, alright, Sue. I'm gonna have to get used to that. And they both say, they both hope they will. Then he instantly, ask her if she wants to be on the team, and she says, yeah, okay. Remember to call me Sue, or I ain't gonna listen. With obviously, capping, of course. He's like, okay, with a big smile on his face. And then I would Tsuyu, Kirishima, Bakugo, and Alchemy Deku. So then they both... Okay, sorry, I was checking my time. They both then murder a man. I'm kidding. They usually just play defense, but Tsuruyuwasti then sometimes reaches her tongue out to grab not big points, but tiny points, just to boost their reputation for being able to see the little things and helping people. That was their goal, to look like they were, not to look like, but to show that they were definitely they were the kind of people to only go to do the small jobs for people. That's what they were trying to show the public. Yeah, these big brain plays, boys. And they both end their career. End the career. Then they just sit. And Bakugo is just blocking, using Kirishima as a shield for Deku. So they're both geniuses. So they're both being geniuses. I can go on the edge of this thing. Huh? That's not how logic works. I do have an objective. My objective is to be in something. Lucas bullcrap. Man, that's some bullcrap. Deku after, Deku. During Deku's whole... Yeah, they win the horse race easily, and then they get all their points. So, Tsuyu, Kirishima. I don't even need to say their names. You already know their names. The squad then passes. Easy. Then they go home. They go home. They do the little exercise to get back in. And then Shinso versus Deku. You know, if you were smart, you would have stayed with us, but hey, that was your choice, and I respect your choice. I will actually murder you, and I hope my dad fucking strangles you to a million fucking pieces, you son of a whore. Sorry, I don't hate him, I just feel sympathy for the guy. He's the weakest Norse god. If you're thinking Magni and Modi, nah, they're not even gods. They're Norse, they're demigods. He is the weakest freaking Norse god. Oh, sorry, I need to get back to the what if. Deku after... Deku after killing. Deku then says to Shinso, but Shinso, already having a grudge with him for beating up his boyfriend Monoma. Yes, gay people exist. So then he instantly turns Deku into a Thinshu, but instead of Deku freezing up, he actually freezes up instead of starts moving in the opposite direction. Well, he's shaking like a freaking bullet. You would barely be able to see he is moving, but he is moving slightly. And then he just tries to speak. Actually, he just punches himself with a stone slab, saying, "Cool trick there. It's kind of like magic in a way. Maybe I could use a technique like that." And he puts his hands together like a dome shape, puts his hand towards Shinso, And then Shinji was under mind control. And then Deku smiles, saying, well, I guess techniques for me die hard. Alright, Shinso. I'm gonna drop some bombshells on your ass. It's like a Genshutsu where they're both in a separate reality. In the real reality, they're just staring at each other, with Deku hitting the pose with his eyes closed, and Shinso staring at the sky. And then Deku says, I'm gonna drop some bombshells on your ass. So you know how you say your quirk's a villain quirk? But like, who says that? Friends don't say that. And sure as heck, that's just not nice. Then he starts screaming at Deku, well, you hurt my boyfriend, so I must kill you. I must hurt you for what you did to my boyfriend. He's like, the blonde guy? I don't see it, but hey, that's... I don't see it. I don't see how it could work, but you try it. Just... Fine, try it. Fine, try it out. I don't care. It's a high school relationship. It's gonna fail. Eventually. I'm not saying that would be bad. And he says, well, okay. Meet me after this fight and Meet me after the fight and I'll get you something for your boyfriend's boyfriend so you can look like you're a cool guy. He's like, you do that for me? And you say, well, I ain't a monster, you know. I just don't like how he said that my friend was... He didn't like the fact that I was trying to defend my friend from being rudely interrupted, you know. So Deku ends his... Not ends his, but like, says, well, okay. And then Deku says, well, see you soon. See you soon, Shinso. I hope to see you in Class 1B soon. And he hopes to see him in Class 1A. And somehow, yeah, then Deku just releases the technique and says, okay, fist to fist, buddy. No quirks, and let's do it. And then they both, you know, put them hands up, you know. I don't want to appear the stupid upgrades anymore. Deku says, well, one-on-one, alright. And Shinso proceeds to say, alright, let's get started. And they both run dumb hands. So Shinso throws a haymaker, which Deku weaves instantly, doing 2 jabs to Shinso's gut. And okay, what kind of fight would this kind of be? I want it to be like a brawl, so like, I would say Naruto and Sasuke in the, Naruto and Sasuke without chakra hands, you know? You know what I mean? And then that's how the fight goes. You know, like a big jab to the jaw. And then Shinso is out. With Deku mildly damaged, saying, you sure as heck can throw a punch. Just need to focus that energy in tactical punches. And then Shinso has said, Deku says, well, hope to see you soon, Shinso. See you after this fight. And then Shinso smiles at him. Actually, he just smirks when he's, you know, falling under consciousness. And then he's said to go to sleep. And he goes to sleep. Nighty night, boy. And then Shinso wakes up after all the other fights. And then Deku's there saying, good job, Shinso. You tried your best, and here's the thing I promised. Then he just pulls out of his ass a freaking bale of roses. This is like, really? Where'd you get these? Yeah, I just got them from my local village. My village. I had to take a car tax trip back to home, but hey, she's a friend, so of course I wasn't gonna just let her leave. So of course I was gonna help. Of course I was gonna stay true to my promise. And then Deku just, leaves. Leave. And I did not know these guys were gonna hit me with the. Deku then just leaves. Too difficult for Deku. I didn't mean to do that. He's dead. I was gonna. And, okay. How far are we? Okay. It's gonna be a long one, sorry. And Deku just. Deku then just sleeps on it, you know? He sleeps on it. Not sleeps on it. He then goes to his next battle, which is Shoto versus him. And Atreus. Deku then ends my boy's whole career. Then he says to Shoto, "You kind of remind me of a older Bakugo. If he didn't, kind of remind me of Bakugo when he was my age." No, why do I keep saying you kind of remind me of Bakugo? He'd probably just say, "You kind of remind me of Bakugo in a sense because you're always whining because you didn't get the, because you were, always whining because you didn't get to shine in a freaking sight in people's eyes." And then Shoto says, "You better be quiet before I quiet down, you weakling. Today I'll show the world that I am strong as a Bakugo and you to get my respect back." Even though he's already regarded as a really strong guy because he's the son of Enji Todoroki. So, but he doesn't want to be known for that. He wants to be known that he was strong. He was way stronger than anything else, they say. Oh, yeah, let me just go to the thing. Okay, so Deku, I can't rush this, but I'll try. I'll try to get it done as possible as I can. Deku. Damn, that blade is long. Deku after, punching. Not punching, but Deku after, whole, says that. They both get it. They both look at each other with a pure rage on their faces. And they both say, "I'm gonna get you." Oh, god darn it, you fucking ass. Nah. Give them cheeks. Deku after. Ah, what the? You stabbed me in my cheeks. Okay. Okay, I'm running out of time. So Deku then begins the fight with a wall of marble. And, they both say, "We're both ready for this battle, alright?" Instead of Deku, being all kind to Bakugo, well, Shoto, and, trying to get him to be nice, He fully wants to beat Shoto's ass for even thinking of not using his full strength. And they start saying, well, if you're not going to use your full strength, neither am I. So he breaks off his metal arm and throws it. And it says, bring it on. And then, Shoto gets mad at this, slightly burning his flames. But then he shuts the clean down, and then they both run hands. And then they both get... And then they both start fighting. Shoto doesn't decide to use his fire at all. So he starts, freezing over, but he just refuses to use it, so Deku is able to get the clear advantage. And then he's able to get a clean Glock on him and knock Shoto clean out. And then it's Bakugo versus Deku in the next round. But then Deku just says, alright. They both start... Oh, well, the battle begins. After a bit of time, the battle begins. Okay, so Bakugo and him start talking. They aren't... Well, the match begins and then they just start talking. They're like, so you've read any good books lately? He's like, well, I haven't been able to get any good books out of the library lately, but hopefully I'll get more. Hopefully I'll get more time in reading. And Deku slightly advances towards the crowd, and guess who's there in all his glory? Yep, Shigaraki's sitting there with an actual kind grin on his face, like he's saying, I knew you could do it, kid. And then they both, and Deku looks back at Bakugo. So begin. And they both run at each other, and it's already like a minute on the clock after when their fight began. So then they started tussle, boom, boom, tussle, block, and then eventually Deku gets the slight up advantage because Deku he knows all about his abilities, and while Bakugo doesn't really know how to use his body yet because he doesn't have his flexibility as he used to be. He has more flexibility than he used to have, actually. Because sometimes his body kind of pops. It's weird. He got a bit spooked at one point, which his arm, because his arm went a bit too far for his liking. So then Deku got the upper hand and sword shigered the crap out of Bakugo, knocking him clean out. And Deku says, and knees down, I really hate fighting you, Even though you're probably the best fighter I'm ever gonna fight, sure as heck I don't like fighting you. Good day, Bakugo. I hope to see you soon. And they both smile at each other well, Deku smiles and then passes out himself. And that is where I'm going to leave things for right now. I hope you'll like the video, but I kind of started rushing after the end. But still, hope you like the video. And like and subscribe because I need those, because I'm pitiful and I need them. I really need them because I really don't like school, so if I get enough money from this, I can just, if I get money from this, I can just drop out of it. I'm not planning on just dropping out of school because I felt like it. But, still, I don't like it. It's really stressful. But, and then, yeah, after that, like and subscribe, yeah, all that jazz. And hit the post notification bell if you like the content I post. But if you don't hit that bell. Alright. Goodbye, everyone. This video as long as it is.